Hey, Curlfriends. Not sure who's online already. I didn't really market this properly, so I'm hoping that people are online and still here and seeing that there's a live going on. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see who comes online. Hopefully you guys got the link. Hopefully you guys got the heads up. I hope. For those of you who might be here, let me know in the comment box because I can't actually see anybody just yet. So let me know if you're in. Hey, Patricia, how's it going? What's up, PSR 076? Thank you for coming through. How is your day? How is your, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Today's Curl Chat Wednesday. That's what today is. My day. Hi, Moments by Design. That's a fantastic name. I love your name. It's a really nice name. Oh, hey, Carl. What's up? That's hubby's in the building. That's on point. That's on point. Yeah, I had a rough day today as well, guys. It's been a long one for sure. Carl says rough day. Yes, 100%. Work is kicking my butt. I'm sure it's kicking your butt too. I definitely hear that. Moments by Design says, hey, Curlfriends. PSR 076, fine, long day, can't wait for vacation, right? Oh my gosh. PSR 076, where are you going? What vacation do you have in store in mind? I'm actually going on a little vacation as well. We have a mandatory shutdown at our at my place of employment, and so one of the things that I intend to do is probably make a lot of content because you guys, this is a source of relaxation for me. I really truly enjoy connecting and making great video and great content that actually helps somebody else out. So chances are likely I'm going to be making a lot more videos, reading. I've got a lot of reading to do about, some new titles in the world of anti-Black racism, as well as some new titles in the world of online entrepreneurship and business and all of that stuff. So I see a couple of us Curlfriends are coming through. Moments by Design. It's me, Sunshine, finally going to brand myself like I should have a long time ago. Congratulations! That's amazing. I love the name. That is fantastic. And thank you so much for identifying yourself, girl, because honestly, had you have not said that you were MC Sunshine, I would have never known that. Although I do think you did tell me at some point before that you were going to rebrand. So it's nice to see that you did it. Congrats. PSR 076, staying home, right? Girl, that's all we can literally do right now is just stay home. So it's all right, though. We're going to make it. Ellie Kwan, miss you, girl. What's up? How's it going? Elle, I miss you. I miss you so much. Ella's my girl from here in Canada. So I really, really thank you for coming through. I know you're super busy, boss chicking it up all the time. I really do appreciate you being here on this live. Thank you. PSR 076, I will be off in 3 weeks. Fantastic. I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to that. For anybody who just popped in, my name is Lavinia Latham. I am your curl-friendly lawyer, and I'm here on YouTube to talk about fine natural hair because, we don't have a lot of natural hair gurus who talk about fine natural hair, but we also talk about online business, we talk about entrepreneurship, and we just overall talk about glowing up your life. So for those of you who don't know what that necessarily means, there's a couple of videos out right now. The last video actually was 10 plus tips. I actually shared 14 tips on how I was able to achieve 500 subscribers in less than 5 months. So that information is information that I was able to collect, and I did my research and I implemented some strategies. I had a lot of trial and error, to be honest with you, but I kind of left the trial out and the error out and just gave you guys the good stuff about what actually works. So that information is up, it's available, it's ready. If you guys wanna check out that video after this, it's definitely there for you. In terms of, people doing it up big, boss chick style, like Alelia Bundles is here. For those of you guys who don't know who Alelia Bundles is, that's Madam CJ Walker's only great-great-granddaughter. She's the only descendant of Madam CJ Walker. That video is up on the channel as well too. And we had Linda Nance, who's Annie Malone's historian. Of course, Annie Malone was I don't want to say rival, but she was also a boss chick of her era. And it's arguable that she was also a millionaire as well. So I just share those types of informations with you because, you know, I've achieved a certain level of success as a lawyer, and I'm also enjoying a certain level of success as a brand new YouTuber. And so there's certain tenets, certain tips, certain strategies that tend to work cross industry. So I like to share that with people because if I'm winning, Curlfriend, you gotta be winning too. Oh, what's up? Let me see. Okay, what's going on? Hi, pretty brownie one. What's up, Anita? I got you, girl. Love you, love you, love you. Moments by Design. Yes, it's all thanks to watching you. I've learned so much on Curl Chat Wednesdays. That's fantastic. That really makes my heart warm. Like, I love that you're learning on Curl Chat Wednesday. And that just gives me the motivation to come on here and be even more consistent than we already are, because this is a staple. We're here to stay, right? Okay, love yourself. Hi, love yourself. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, Lady Babin. I'm here, missed a lot of streams, been busy with life. No worries, life happens. I know, you know, we all have 5,000,001 different things to do, so totally makes sense. 100%. Do not be sorry. Happens to the best of us. All right, been some great moments. Yes, thank you, love yourself. You guys have been phenomenal supports. The Curlfriend crew is out strong all the time, every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all probably clicked into this video, not because it was Curl Chat Wednesday, for those of you who don't know, but because you probably want an update on that Revere. So y'all know I'm gonna give it to you straight up and down, no bars held. So in terms of the pros, I'm still very much enjoying the Revere. It is a great little device. It also has the ability to kind of remove some of the services that you would necessarily have to use when you go to the salon. So recently, the salons, we entered stage 2 here in Toronto, and the salons are actually opening, which is fantastic, right? So I went to the salon, I got a much needed trim. I actually lost about almost an entire inch because my strands are just all scraggly. As much as I tried to trim myself, I still ended up with issues, you guys. So I ended up losing about just a little less than an inch. But one thing that my stylist did notice, and I've got to be completely transparent with you guys, is that my hair on the end started to kind of become a little bit more see-through. So for fine strands, that's something that happens so easily, you guys. Like, it is so easy to go from thriving and striving to like scraggly and see-through. So it's not a situation that is necessarily in, you know, a dire state just yet, but if it wasn't corrected, it would definitely go left pretty quick. So even though she took off about an inch, a little less than an inch, I would still say there's still about maybe 2 inches that are looking a little bit, you know, it should probably be a little bit more thicker than that. So I attribute that to a couple of different things. I attribute it to, number one, I've been using heat more often. So I purchased my Revere back in, I want to say, well, it was definitely after coronavirus hit. So it would have been like late March, probably like early April, early to mid-April. And since early to mid-April, I applied heat to my hair using the Revere 3 times. So while the Revere is definitely a lighter, easier way to press out your stresses and to pull them or blow them out or whatever, it's definitely still heat. So I've taken the precautions necessary. I've gone ahead and used a heat protectant. I've gone ahead and made sure to, you know, only apply the Revere to freshly washed, freshly deep conditioned hair. And yet still, I'm still having some issues. So I say that it's not necessarily all the Revere's fault, because one of the things that I don't think I've spent enough time talking about here on FNHROCKS, and that I would like to start talking more about, is the need for protein treatments. So whether your hair is fine and natural or fine and straight, if you're type 1 or type 4, in my research, I'm starting to realize, and in my experience, that fine hair is fine hair, period. And while there may be type 4 hair, natural hair is definitely a little bit more fragile, well, a lot more fragile due to the kinks and curls and turns than, you know, type 1, type 2, type 3 hair. For the most part, all fine hair kind of suffers from similar things. So similar things like what? You might have spacey parts. When you straighten your hair doesn't necessarily look thick. When you try to put a curl on your hair, it doesn't necessarily hold the curl. Lots of frizz. These are all things that even if you are, whether you're fine natural or you're fine type 1, type 2, type 3 hair, the chances are likely you're going to experience it. And so in doing research and in understanding and reflecting upon my own experiences with the Revair, I noticed that my experiences are very similar to other fine-haired ladies and gents. So, you know, one of the things that I wish to talk more about here is the need for protein. I, Curlfriend, have not been using a lot of protein in my regimen. So about a year and a half ago, I would have experienced a lot of protein overload. And that was because I was of the opinion at the time that all I needed was protein. Well, went through a whole issue of like hair loss and hair breaking and all that kind of like not so good stuff, and learned the hard way that, you know, fine hair needs moisture. Fast forward to today, and I started doing research and seeing something called protein overload, and that the fact that like some people can be protein sensitive. Well, Curlfriend, fine hair is not protein sensitive, at least not this head of fine hair. I'm low porosity. I have low porosity strands, and I'm also fine haired. And even with low porosity strands that have a good internal mechanism of holding on to moisture, it still needs protein. And so right now, what I'm going through, why my hair is breaking, in addition to using the Revair, I think with the extra heat, it's adding to a situation that's already not too great. But my hair is over conditioned. I wouldn't say that it's suffering from hydro fatigue, which is essentially when you add too much water to your hair and you never give your hair an opportunity to dry. It's just literally always wet, always wet, always wet. That's hydro fatigue. Over conditioned is when your hair has too much conditioner in it. It's just overly conditioned. It starts to feel mushy. And if you stretch it, it will stretch until it will just break right off. And that's exactly what was happening to my strands. It's still kind of happening to my strands. And so, yeah, like I felt the need to tell you guys that in addition to the update on the Revere, because I do believe that both of those situations are collectively contributing to a not so great situation in terms of hair, strand health and strand strength. So I see that there's a couple of comments. I don't know why my StreamYard is not updating the way it should. So if I'm looking this way, it's because I actually have the comments on this side in more real time. So let's see what's going on in the chat. I see that Moments by Design says, y'all left the verses with Snoop and DMX to chat with the Curlfriends. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so, so much, you guys. Never, ever, ever a bad opportunity to talk about your hair. Honestly, that means a lot to me. It shows me that you guys love me as much as I love you. So thank you so much for the support. It feels really, really good to know that, you know, the Curlfriends came out from the Snoop and DMX versus challenge for some curl chat. That's wicked. You guys are amazing. And thank you for letting me know that, NC Sunshine. That's hilarious. PSR 076, how often do you use protein? Fantastic question. So before this whole situation, I wasn't using protein at all, like nothing. Like I started using the line from Shea Moisture. They've got a no protein line that's designed for low porosity hair. And so I was using that. I was using a bunch of moisturizing conditioners, some conditioners that mention that they have protein in it, but when you look in the ingredients, the hydrolyzed wheat protein is like all the way at the bottom of the list. So really not a heavy source of protein. And my hair strands suffered from it. Like you would literally touch the strand and the bottom of it would like just feel like it's gonna break right off. Like there was no integrity to the strand at all. So that was really problematic because fine natural hair, fine hair period, already is lacking an entire protective layer. And so when you add protein to your strands, you're giving your strands, albeit a artificial layer, it's a layer nonetheless of strength and protection. And so doing those protein treatments are really, really important for that. So PSR 076, it's been about a year, I want to say almost 2 years since I did a protein treatment. I'm surprised I lasted this long, to be honest with you, without having overconditioned strands. And only yesterday did I actually do a protein treatment, like a real true protein treatment. So prior to that, it would have been about maybe 5 months since I added protein to my hair, because 5 months ago I was using the Mielle Organics, the Basu and Mint oil protein moisture balance conditioner. And that was kind of keeping me at bay. But when I removed that from my strands, when I removed that from the regimen, that's when things really started to go haywire. And that's when I really went downhill to like over conditioned strands. So yesterday what I did was I applied the AphoG two-step protein reconstructing treatment, and my strands feel a lot better. I mean, they still feel like they have some ways to go, but they definitely feel a lot better. And that's something that I'm going to assess on a regular wash day basis every week to make sure that the strands are feeling a little bit more fortified. And then when they get to the stage where I'm like, okay, they feel strong enough, then I will go back to doing moisturizing treatments instead. Moments by Design. I'm glad you were talking about that, because I never know if I'm supposed to do protein or not. I did finally start doing deep conditioning treatments regularly, and that is making a difference. Yes, so that's fantastic, Moments by Design. What you want to be doing is what we call moisture protein balancing. So if your hair is starting to feel mushy and it's starting to feel really, really soft, like strangely soft, and it's weird because like I've read that everywhere, there's research galore about this, but you never really know until you feel it on your own strands, right? So you got to really understand the texture of your strands, what feels normal, what feels good, what your strands feel like when they're doing well. Because when it switches any way of the pendulum, that's when you'll know exactly what you need to do. So I still say lean on the side of moisture if you really don't know. And then as it gets too soft, add protein into your regimen. Do a protein deep conditioning treatment. I think the Mielle Organics, why can't I speak? The Mielle Organics protein moisture balancing deep conditioner is really fantastic because it actually does the work for you. And so you can kind of go from there. And I think that's the reason why for so long I hadn't done a hard protein treatment, and I was okay because I was using that deep conditioner. And as of like 5-6 months ago, I just stopped using it because I ran out of it and I wanted to try something else. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. I really do. But that's good. That's good that you're doing deep conditioning treatments. Do not stop doing that. That is actually really fantastic. Moments by Design. Pretty Brownie 1, do you still use the hair steamer? Do you think that may have contributed to your hair issues? So that's a very, very good question. Y'all are coming with the questions tonight. I actually don't use the hair steamer as much anymore. I haven't used it in, I want to say maybe ever since it was cold. So I find the hair steamer is the most effective when it's cold outside because it's kind of like a combat against like the wind and the breeze and all that crazy stuff. But I actually haven't been using it, but I've still been doing heated treatments, heated moisturizing treatments. I use my heat cap the most. So for those of you who don't know what the heat cap is, it's literally like a conditioning cap that you put into your microwave. Mine has flax seeds in it. You heat it up for about 3 minutes on and off, like in 1 minute intervals. And then you literally put it on over your plastic cap and sit with it. So I've been doing that instead. Any form of heat on low porosity strands will allow for greater penetration. If you've got high porosity strands, chances are likely you don't need the heat because your hair, the shaft is open and allows for product to flow in and out quite easily. But if you do have low porosity hair, heat is something that you want to take advantage of. So to answer the question, no, I haven't been doing the steamer very often. I don't think it was the steamer though. I think I probably would have had greater breakage if I had continued doing the steamer since my strands were in fact over conditioned. PSR 076, I use a protein treatment once a month. That's fantastic. So that's actually what you should be doing. Patricia, you hit it on the nail. You really should, as a fine natural, be incorporating protein treatments into your regimen at least, to start once a month and then see where you go from there. So if your hair is feeling super hard, then you want to be using more conditioning treatments, more moisture-rich deep conditioners. And if your hair is feeling super mushy, more protein-rich deep conditioners. It's a little easier to fix moisture. Actually, it's a lot easier to fix over-conditioned hair because literally with a few protein treatments, hard protein treatments, you can get your strands back to normal. It's a little harder if you have too much moisturization in your hair because you're going to need too much protein in your hair because you're going to need numerous moisturizing treatments to kind of correct that. since I've been on both sides of the street now, I can tell you guys definitively from my experience that when I had protein overload strands, it literally took me almost an entire year to fix that. And now that I have over conditioned strands, I would say my hair is about 50% of the way there. So by the next time that I do another protein treatment, I'm also using more protein-based, protein-heavy leave-in conditioners. I'm seeing the strands come back to its fortified strength a lot easier, a lot more quickly. Let's see what is going on in the chat. Moments by Design. Is rice water considered a protein treatment? Yes, 100% rice water is a protein treatment. If you are applying rice water to your strands, you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your strands for the moisture protein balance, because that is a form of a protein treatment for sure. It's a natural protein treatment, but it's still a protein treatment. You will get more protein benefits out of a rice water treatment than you will moisturizing benefits for sure. Okay. PSR 076, the AphoG 2 minutes reconstructor because it's a light protein treatment. Yes. So if you are experiencing overconditioned strands, there are 2 different AphoGs that you can take advantage of. And if you want to check that out, there's a link in my bio to the FNHROCKS by Beauty Club outlet store, or you can get it anywhere else. But essentially, there's 2 different types of proteins. There's a light one that it's, you know, if you have some, like you suspect it, but you're not, like, you're kind of unsure, then I would say start off with that. If you know what your hair feels like when it's right and what it feels like when it's gummy, then I would say go ahead and do the harder protein treatment. Because my situation was quite dire and led to losing almost an entire inch of length, I did go ahead and use the heavier one of it. And I've used it before. So another word of caution is it's a strange product to use because when you put it in your hair is going to get super hard. So you put the solution in your hair, you sit under your bonnet, hopefully, or if you don't have a bonnet, you sit with a blow dryer and you put it on light because your strands are going to get like literally like rock hard, like as hard as this case is, like rock hard, your strands are going to get. And so once it gets that strong, at least with the hard protein treatment, that's when you know that the treatment is done and that it's time for you to go under the strands of water or under the water and wash it out, rinse it out. So it's a little bit of a weird product to use. If you're uncomfortable with it, you can incur damage if you don't do it properly. So I do caution people, like if you're really not that confident about it, then definitely go to the salon first. But I mean, the first time I tried it, this was when I knew nothing about hair. And I don't think that I had breakage from the first treatment per se. I think it was just a lack of knowledge in general. So you can if you follow the instructions, you'll be fine for sure. Like, I don't think you have to go to a professional, but you know, if you're one of those people who want to avoid risk, then for sure, maybe a professional might be better. Lady Babin, I would give that a try. Yes, check it out and see what happens. Hi, Jazzy. I just saw your message. What's up, Curlfriend? How you doing? I hope your night's going really well. I hope it's going better. You know, your day's going a little bit more smoothly than mine. Mine day was a little hectic. So I didn't even have time to do makeup, Curlfriends. Like, you know, I don't usually come on here to, you know, present to the Curlfriend crew like this. PSR 076. I've been using it since I was relaxed. Yeah, that AphoG treatment is a very popular treatment that's used from a lot of relaxed ladies, and I think I probably had it done at the salon when I was relaxed too, because it really does fortify the strands and add into the gaps on the strands where there's gaps from damage or gaps from, you know, just the fact that you're a fine natural. Like, it really does build up the strand in a way that needs to be repeated every 4 to 6 weeks. But it's good. It's a fantastic product. I really do like it, and I'm happy that they're still making it. Because all these years later, I've been natural for 11 years, and, you know, I had this issue and I went straight back to my AphoG. So it's a good product for sure. Moments by Design. Can you do a video or just tell me how to figure out my porosity? I know I have fine strands, but I can't figure out my porosity. Yeah. So Moments by Design, I'm happy to make a note that, you know, perhaps a video might be best, because I do get this question often. So let me just bear with me while I write that down. I am going to answer your question though. Okay, so now that I've written that down, you know that you've got low porosity there's a really easy test. So if you could take like a glass of water And then what you can do is take a strand of your hair and literally a clean strand of your hair, plop it on top. Once you plop it on top, if it's sitting at the top of the water, then that means you've got low porosity strands. And this is after like a good 5 minutes. If you want to be safe, give it maybe 10 minutes. So if after 5 to 10 minutes it's still floating at the top, then you know that you've got low porosity hair. If it goes somewhere into the middle, then you know you've got medium porosity hair. And if it sinks all the way down to the bottom, then you know that you've got high porosity hair. So that's one way. The second way that you can test your porosity, you can take a strand of clean hair and you can run your fingers up the shaft. So this is not my hair. This is a protective wig because, like I said, my hair is going through it. So I'm babying it galore. Babying it. And I will give you guys more details about that in another video. But you take your strand like this and you run your hands up the shaft. So if you have low porosity strands, it's going to be very smooth because your shaft is shut really tight. It's shut closed. Like they're not open at all. If you've got medium porosity hair, it will feel kind of bumpy. Actually, I don't think there's a way to tell with medium porosity hair, but if you go up the shaft and it's smooth, for sure it's low porosity. If you go up the shaft and it's bumpy, for sure it's high porosity. So that's another way that you can check it out. There's a third way to check it out. I can't really remember that third way just now, but I will definitely conduct the research for that and then post that video for you guys to reference permanently here on FNHROCKS. So I hope that helps. Love yourself. Okay, you guys are hanging out. Love yourself. Is black rice better than white rice? That's a good question. Yo, you guys are coming with it tonight. I don't think it matters. I've seen success with all of them. So I've seen success with black rice, with white rice, with brown rice. I think it really is just the rice proteins. But I would have to do my research because I know that there's a tribe, either it was a tribe in Asia or a tribe in Africa of women. I think it was an African, it was a tribe in Africa, one of the countries in Africa, where these women were like literally using rice water to grow their hair out long and strong. And so if starting that for the first time, I've never done that for myself. I've never done a DIY with rice water. Maybe it's something I might try, especially since now there's such a dire need for more protein in my diet, or well, my diet too, but sorry, my hair regimen. So I would probably lean on the way that it's traditionally been done. And I would think that that probably is like either brown or black rice, since white rice has like, you know, some bleaching elements in it to make it white. I would definitely say to try with the brown and black rice first. If you really want to be 100% healthy and 100% pure. China. Thank you, pretty brownie one. China. Yes. So yeah, it's a Chinese tradition, and I think that it's likely used with brown rice, but maybe someone in the comments knows more about that than I do. Because like I said, like that's an area of knowledge that I'm currently doing some research on. So once I know that for sure, I'm definitely going to let you guys know. Okay, Jazzy, I'm doing good, and you? I'm glad to hear you're doing good. I'm doing better now that I'm hanging out with you guys. Not gonna lie about that. I'm having a jolly old time over here. You guys are amazing. Pretty brownie one, girl, you have your natural glow showing up. Thank you, love. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. Aw, Patricia, you too sweet. Too kind. Moments by design, mine half sinks and half floats in the middle. Okay, so moments by design, you're medium porosity. That means that your strands naturally level and balance themselves out. If I were you, I would focus more on a porosity, on a regimen that leans towards low porosity to start, and then, you know, work on moving your way on up accordingly. But for the most part, your strands are actually quite balanced. So that just generally means that you're able to hold on to your moisture and in a way that is actually quite healthy and quite balanced. So you don't have issues getting moisture in your strands, and you also don't have issues releasing moisture from your strands. So perhaps when you're applying your products, a great way for you to start is to apply it directly as stated on the label, because for the most part, when companies are creating their instructions and their directions on how to use their products, they're usually not doing it with issues in mind, unless the product is specifically developed and formulated for like low porosity hair or high porosity hair. 9 times out of 10, they're developing that product for somebody like yourself, which is fantastic, who has like medium porosity hair. They don't have porosity issues. So to start, definitely just focus on the way your products are asking you to put those products on your hair, and then go from there. In terms of layering, I would layer my products to start as if you had low porosity hair, and then you can kind of like, you know, tweak it from there as well too. So yeah, but you can go either way. Like you can go with a, you know, leaning towards more high porosity examples of how to layer your products, or low porosity. If I was in that boat, I would definitely lean more towards low porosity and then kind of move from there. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, guys, in terms of, you know, back to the Revair, yeah, so the pro of it is that your hair gets straight and it doesn't have as much, you know, tension. So there's like a little filter in the back of it, and I didn't bring it out with me just now, but there's a little filter at the back that shows you exactly how much hair has collected inside of it. After each use, I've never had a lot of hair. So like I would say if I had to count, I maybe lost like 10 hairs across my entire head, which is fantastic. It's really, really great in that sense. Because it is still heat, I think it has a long-term effect, especially if you're not doing protein treatments to your hair. And so I think that's probably what I'm suffering from. In terms of cons, it's heavy. Like it's really, really heavy, Curlfriend. Like it's heavy, it's loud. I find that when I'm using it, that my arm gets tired halfway through. So like, and I don't have a lot of hair. So I don't know how ladies with like a lot of hair, like, and when I say a lot of hair, like I have like medium density hair. I don't know how somebody with like thick density hair, and density just refers to how many strands you have on your head. So you could be a fine natural with low density hair, and that just means that you see a lot of scalp. You know, your strands are spaced out between each other. That's just something that's genetic. Unfortunately, you can't really switch it either way. And then, of course, if you're like myself, you've got medium density strands, you can see your scalp, but it's not overly visible if there's no part. And if you've got high density strands, then it means that even if you part your hair, you still can't see your scalp. So me with medium density strands, it's very, very heavy. I find that my arms hurt and it's loud. Like if you wanted to, you know, say you were going on a trip and you were leaving for your flight in the morning whenever we're able to fly again, or I guess in these circumstances, you're going on a road trip, you know, early in the morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and you just wanted to like wash your hair quickly and blast it with a blowout, you probably wouldn't be able to do that at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning without waking somebody up or being a really, really, really bad housemate. So yeah, in that scenario, I think that that's something that Revere needs to work on. The other thing with the con is that I find that the device itself is a little bit misleading. So the dial on the body of the device has numbers from 1 all the way up to like 7. That those numbers actually indicate how much tension is going to be applied to your strands within the wand. When I first used it, I don't know if it's just me, but for me, it intuitively felt like that was like a heating numerical system of sorts. It's not. So, and it wasn't, and even after, you know, Revere came on and spoke about it and talked to us about like what to use and how to use it, it was still not intuitive. It's only after like 3 uses that I'm like, oh, that's not actually heat. It's not a heat dial, it's a tension dial. Instead, where they put the heat dial is actually on the wand itself. So there's 2 different heat settings. There's either high or low. I think that that's a con, because I think there are a variety of different heat settings. Just like with a flat iron, you want to be able to kind of, you know, find what works the best for you. Having only 2 heat settings can be a little bit difficult. Again, it's not a lot of heat anyways, so perhaps I'm just nitpicking on that point. But I did notice that it wasn't intuitive in terms of like what's the actual tension settings and what's the actual heat settings. Moments by design, cool. It used to float to the top. The last time I tested it, went to the middle. Oh. So it used to float to the top, but then it went to the middle. That's interesting. So I think it depends on if you tried the same part of your hair. Like, did you test the same hair strands from the same spot? Because you can have different porosity levels in one head of hair. You can have different porosity levels, and you absolutely can have different density levels as well. If any of you have ever experienced, you know, oh, up here seems to be really tight and compacted, but back here is really like loose, and it seems like there's more space in my strands, that would be an example of somebody who has different density. You can definitely have different porosity as well. Moments by design, that's definitely a con if it's heavy. It's totally a con. It's totally a con because your arm is getting tired, right? I mean, the pro of it is that you can get your hair straightened pretty quickly. You can get it blown out pretty quickly, but it's definitely a con when your arm is getting tired. The other part is that because it does use a lower amount of heat, I do find that the strands, if you don't, you know, do a couple passes with it, it will puff out a little bit faster. So even when I did the Revere review online on live stream for the Curlfriend crew on Curl Chat Wednesday, that video is still up, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, it's still there. It was puffing up. Now, mind you, it was hot. It was definitely a hot day, and the washroom was getting a little bit warm. But even when I did it outside of the washroom on another occasion, a separate occasion, I did notice that it was kind of like puffing up a little bit more than I wanted it to. So I mean, it's a blowout too, and that's what natural hair does. So that's kind of like, I guess that's like a medium pro / con. I don't know. It could be indicative of healthy hair too, or healthy-ish hair. But yeah, Curlfriend. So that's pretty much it. I would repurchase it. I do think it's worth $400. Like I said, I recently had a salon visit here in Toronto. If you wanted to go get your hair blown out, washed, blown out, and trimmed, that would have costed about $130. $130 after you give a tip, right? But because I had my Revere and I was able to wash my hair myself, I was able to Revere my hair myself, I cut down that cost to about $40, including a tip. So it does pay for itself. I think that's fantastic. But you got to be careful because it's still heat. So that's a con as well. Like the Revere is definitely marketed as something that will never give you heat damage. That's not true. If you don't use a heat protectant, if you go ahead and you use that Revere too often, you get excited with it, you know, you start using it every single wash day, you will incur damage, and you will incur damage very, very quickly, especially as a fine natural. So if you're considering purchasing it because, you know, you feel that this is your way to, like, you know, blown out strands, straighter strands without the damage, without the heat issues, this isn't it. Like heat is heat is heat. And if it can damage thicker strands, it can 1,000,000% damage fine strands. So yeah. PSR 076, how long does it take you to blow out your hair with it? It took me, so on air, when I was doing it on live stream, that took about 45 minutes. And it took about 45 minutes off air too, because whereas when I was doing it on the live stream, like I needed time to kind of like respond to people and hang out, and you know, you're on video, that was like, that took out time. But when I did it by myself, I still needed time to rest my arms because it was like killing my arm strength. So I would say about 45 minutes. So time-wise, that's another thing. And that's a great question, Patricia. Time-wise, they say that it cuts down time. If you've got a lot of arm strength, maybe I just need to do more push-ups. But if you've got a lot of arm strength, then for sure, you probably could get it done in like 30 minutes. But if you're like me and you need a break and your arm gets tired, then you probably will need the full 45 minutes to an hour. Moments by design. Oh man, I'm not sure if I tested from the same place. I didn't realize different parts could be different. I thought something had changed or that I tested wrong. No, not at all. That's totally normal to have different porosity strands on one head of hair. For sure. Like your porosity can change though. So if you have been using heat or you've experienced chemical damages, that could be a reason why you would go from low porosity strands to medium porosity strands. But then again, of course, like if you were to do a protein treatment, then you probably might, you know, get back to some level of normal. But if you haven't used any heat, you haven't gone ahead and relaxed your hair, you don't have any chemical damage, chances are like, and you haven't tested the same strand of hair or in the same area, then chances are likely that everything's totally fine. It's just, you know, a situation of, you know, our hair just has different things going on in different areas. PSR 076, arm strength. Yes, Curlfriend, arm strength has me over here feeling like I need to be doing like some bicep curls or something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I know that, you know, quarantining added some quarantine pounds, but wow, like lack of arm strength too? Like, We're just like getting all mashed up over here, falling apart over here. But yeah, Curlfriends, that's it for me tonight. Unless there are any further questions, giving you a little sneak peek about what's next to come on Find Natural Hair Rocks. Friday, I'm doing a different kind of a video that we've never actually had here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. I'm doing a face mask haul. So I've got a bunch of face masks from Sephora. A lot of people have asked me, like, how did I get my skin the way I have it? And like, what do I do? Drinking a lot of water. Mind you, I'm going to take a water break right now. But drinking a lot of water helps. I drink a ton of water. Also doing face masks helps, and using really quality products. So I want to go into further detail about what that might look like, especially since so many Curlfriends have asked. So Friday's video is going to be a Sephora face mask haul, and I'm going to help you guys see exactly what face masks work the best for your skin, and that have healthy ingredients as well too. Let's see. So PSR 076, girl, I haven't blown out my hair for at least a year. Yeah, so then it's totally, yeah, so like if you haven't blown your hair out for a year, that means your hair is super healthy. Good on you, girl. Like that was me back in March, and yeah, I felt too nice because here I am in July having to correct stuff. So don't be me. Follow my situation and avoid that. Avoid it. Girl, I love sheet masks. Yes. Okay. So we're on the same wavelength. You guys like sheet masks. I love sheet masks. Like I love a good mask. I love it on the eyes. I love it on the skin. Like I just love masking it up. Like it feels so good. It really does. Pretty Brownie One, when are you doing your haul on hair products? Oh, I didn't realize that we were doing one of those. So I can do a haul on hair products. I'll add that to the list of videos to come up. That video will probably come up sometime in August, because the videos for July have already been, pre-recorded. They're up. They're ready to go. And they're in the content calendar. So definitely going to do a product haul on my hair products. I've got some new products coming in actually. They're coming in from the States. So whenever you purchase products from the States, they take forever. I think I purchased from Honey's Handmade and from Curl Origin back in early July, end of June. And we're like almost through July and they still haven't come. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But in terms of other content, next on Monday, I'm going to be reviewing the main choice pink lemonade and coconut mousse. I'll also be doing a curl chat on Wednesday with Najude. She is a fine natural who is living in South Africa, and her experiences in South Africa are much different than our experiences, or the majority of people who watch Fine Natural Hair Rocks anyways, in North America. And so that conversation is going to be really interesting, because a lot of the things that you would take as a truth or take for granted as like something that's existent actually isn't. So I'm really excited to bring her on here to like talk about her experience as a fine natural. And then our last video of the month is going to be a review of the Sultanicals Frizz Wiz Curl Defining Leave-In. So if you've got fine hair, you know frizz better than anybody else. I want to see if that actually is going to make a difference for frizz control and all that stuff. So I see we've got lots of great comments going on in the curl chat. Lady Babin, I love face masks. Yes, Patricia, me too. I love face masks. Love yourself. I love skincare products. Okay, so this is a hit. I am so happy. I'm really excited. I'm even more pumped to finish editing that video than I was before. So this is fantastic, you guys. Moments by Design. LOL, I thought you meant the mask we have to wear for COVID. You are so funny. Don't kill me. I mean, that's totally a normal thought, because like that's the world we're in right now, right? Like if this was like 7 months ago and somebody said mask, they'd be like, yeah, duh, face mask. But like now, like, girl, like I get it. I totally get it. That is hilarious. Pretty Brownie One sounds great. Looking forward to that curl chat. Yes, me too. Najude is amazing. She is absolutely amazing. She is so much fun. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. So if you have any questions about life in South Africa, or like being a natural in South Africa, or being even Black in South Africa, these are conversations that we're going to be deep diving into. And you know that your girl likes to conduct a good interview. So we're going to be having some fun with that one. Moments by Design. LOL. I know y'all. Long day for me. It's all good, girl. Trust me. Trust me. I totally 100% get it. But you guys, I really appreciate the time that you spent with me tonight. I appreciate those of you guys who came out of the Versus Challenge to hang out on FNHROCKS. That means the world to me. You don't even know. I really do appreciate it all. And I will be back on Friday for our Curl Chat premiere. Well, it's not a Curl Chat. Yeah, I guess it is. Curl Chat premiere of the newest video, which is, of course, that Sephora face mask haul. So, yeah, guys. Exciting times. Thank you very much. Okay, Pretty Rowdy One, what date is that? So that date is going to be July 24th. Friday, July 24th is the face mask haul. So that's going to be coming up in 2 days. I'm so annoyed I don't get home till late on Friday. Guess I'll rewatch it later. Aw, yeah, that sucks. Because we're always here at 9:30 p.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Unless there's like an issue with the upload on YouTube and I didn't get the edit up fast enough, then it might be like 10 instead. But for the most part, it is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moments by Design, can you do a review of the Do products? I need to know before I buy something. Okay, so which product is that specifically? Because I've actually avoided the Do just because I don't like the ingredients that they use. So as a fine natural, like, we have so much issues with our hair. Like, we really need to be on top of like everything, like a perfect regimen almost. And so for that reason, I've really leaned into more Ayurvedic ingredients, more natural ingredients. And I don't think the Do is really that natural. They don't have as clean ingredients as I would have liked it. So Moments by Design, let me know exactly what product that is. I can definitely check it out. Let's connect on Instagram. I'm happy to check it out for you, give you my thoughts on it. Because chances are likely if it's not a clean ingredient product, I'm likely not going to purchase it. Just because, yeah, I have too much products now too, you guys. Like, this is getting kind of ridiculous. And my hubby's like, stop buying products. Pretty Brownie One, not the NAS call. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. The interview with Najude from South Africa, that's next Curl Chat Wednesday. So that's going to be July 29th. At 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So because she's in South Africa, we actually are going to pre-record it. So if you did catch the interview with Mary from the Curly Closet, that was a 3-part interview because it was 1 hour and 40 minutes and YouTube was acting up, wouldn't let me upload the whole thing. So I had to split it into 3. But that video was recorded because we weren't actually able to connect properly because she's like, I think 5 or 6 hours ahead of us. So 9:30 p.m. would actually be like something like 2 o'clock in the morning. The same issue is present with Najude in South Africa. So this is going to be a pre-recorded. That's a great question. It's going to be a pre-recorded video. So if you do have questions, if there's anything that you want questioned or, you know, to pop up in that video, then I can definitely add that to the interview question list so that, you know, it's a good little conversation and everybody's thoughts and questions are kind of incorporated into that. PSR 076. Yes, not all the Do products are clean, no sulfate, paraben, or silicones. Yeah, so if some of them are clean, I'm happy to check out the ones that are clean. But if they aren't clean, that's one thing that, like, I know right off the bat that chances are likely I probably wouldn't review that, unfortunately. Lady Babin, the Do mousse didn't work for me. I tried like 3 times and ended up returning it. You Americans are so lucky with that return thing, man. Here in Canada, if you don't like a product, too bad, too sad. Excuse me. Too bad, too sad. That's yours for life. Like, they don't do that out here. Like, where they do that at? Like, not here. I can't even tell you how many products are just like, you know, it didn't work, and so it's like, oh well, it's still yours. But no, if you can try products out and send them back, then for sure, like that's amazing. That's fantastic. Moments by Design. I haven't gotten to the point of knowing how to recognize good ingredients. Okay, so I've got my little list of like things. I don't know if you can see that, but my little list of things that I want to write about, or not write about. You guys, that was lawyer mode. Things I want to make a video about. Good ingredients versus bad ingredients are one of them. So I will definitely endeavor to create that video for you as well. Pretty Brownie One. Apparently you can return to Sally's. Yes, this is true. The only issue with Sally's, though, is that they've got a very limited selection of products. And so I think anything beyond Tijin, Mayel, and very limited products from Mayel can be returned. Or not Mayel, sorry, Main Choice. And they've also got As I Am. So you're right. Sally's can definitely be returned. And there are some products here in Walmart as well, too. But for the most part, if you wanted to try like the more like, you know, grassroots, less known brands like The Do or, you know, Uncle Funky's or, you know, Oy and Handmade, like you wouldn't be able to get that unless you went to like the beauty supply stores or you purchased from like a smaller Black owned business. And 9 times out of 10 times out of 10, they don't really offer very good return policies, unfortunately. So it would just be yours to keep forever. As terrible as that sounds so finite, but it's true. It would be yours to keep forever. So you guys, we're touching on 50 minutes. I've got a couple of work items that I do have to continue responding to. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for an amazing Curl Chat Wednesday. Thank you for coming on. I know that I kind of dropped the ball on marketing this on Instagram and letting the Curl Chat or Curlfriend crew on Instagram know that this is where we are, but you guys still showed up. So I appreciate that. I really do. Pretty Brownie One, that's why I'm being strict on what I purchase now. 100%. Yeah, save your coin, sis. Like, money doesn't pick off the trees, so we don't want to be purchasing things that we don't necessarily need. I'm not encouraging product junkyism at all. Like, that is not what we're here for. We're here for healthy length retention, healthy growth, and yeah, in mind, body, and soul. So that's what we doing up in here. Moments by Design. Thanks, y'all. Love y'all. Good night. Yes, thank you so much. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I will see you on Friday for that Sephora face haul. That Sephora face mask haul. You see, it's getting late, you guys. I'm like getting all loopy up in here. So yeah, thanks, guys. Love you lots. Mwah. Bye.